banger? Hell yeah.
Classes in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC Guy, and TradeFly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to Piper Academy. I'm your host, Army Piper. Today, we've got Arbitrum being listed on Robinhood. We've got Bitcoin regaining some of its losses and a whole lot more. Plus, special guest, AlexO, crypto in the house. Guys, without any further ado, classes in session. Let's get it. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday. Let's go. Guys, welcome to Piper Academy. I am your host, Army Piper. We come at you every single Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. God, oh my God, I'm glad to have everybody here, man. This is going to be a good day. I got my team here. I got AlexO here. I got the alumni here in the chat.
Yeah, that's my alumni.
And
you know what I mean?
We got some really cool news that we're going to take a look at. Even a Forbes article, they called out the top 4 cryptos that you need to have in your portfolio for this year. And a couple of them a little shocking. So we're going to talk about some of those too. But without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring the entire team in, not just my co-host, but my substitute co-host too, because this man is so dedicated. He has offered up his services to the alumni anytime we need a fill-in. Guys, it's AlexO Crypto in the house. What's up, bro?
What's going on? I got my legendary aviation coffee. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I definitely drew a tribute out to TradeFly as well on the bottom there.
It looks just like his, just like you look just like him. Just so you know.
You got to get some legendary aviation coffee, man.
Alex, I love you, man. You're so awesome. So awesome soul. Love having you on the show. How you been, man? How's it going?
I'm great, man. I'm great. It's been a crazy busy week. Obviously with the baby news and trading and running the community, renovating a basement. It's been wild, but the charts have been good to us. We've been crushing it as a community. It's been great to collab with you guys and have you on Monday. Like Monday was absolutely nuts.
It was.
But it's been a great week for crypto, man, and we're just looking for those alts to catch up and things to continue marching along the way right now. But it's almost like it's too good to be true. That's all I'm saying right now.
It does. I don't disagree with that at all. I think you're spot on. TradeFly, how you doing, bro? You're muted. You're muted.
He's speechless.
He's speechless. Yep.
Man, I was so excited. I
can tell. So excited you forgot to turn on your system.
I've been talking the whole time, like, yo, twinning ain't easy. I'm over here in the background having fun. There I go.
Man.
There we go. That's why we don't live, right? So anyways, hey, I made the bet for you guys. Now I lost all my energy, and I'm going to pass it to OC now.
Oh, a sad day. Sad day. TradeFly blew his whole load in that muted section, and now he has nothing to give.
I know what you need. I know what you need, TradeFly. You need a big, huge, warm coffee of aviation coffee.
I'm back.
Legendary aviation coffee. That's it. Guys, let's go ahead and get into the news. We're going to talk about some news here. We're going to jump into some charts. We've got 4 TA analysts on here and some hot topics to discuss. So let's go ahead and jump over. Let's get that news. Let's get news. Guys, today's news brought to you by Decrypt.tax up there. Ernest, our trusted tax official. If you guys have any questions, hit him up. He'll do a free consultation using that link below, and you'll get 25% off. And you never know, you might save yourself a whole lot of money on your crypto tax and keep the IRS away. So let's jump in to the news, guys. Crypto bubbles. AGIX up 27.9% right now. AXL up 27.5%. Fetch AI continuing to move. And then Whiff. This is dogs with hats, guys. Dogs with hats. up 15.7%. True story. Meme season is here. Look at Pepe, 17.9, guys. Bonk is continuing to push up. Down a little bit right now on the daily. Well, not down, but not pumped as much as the others. But yeah, it is definitely looking like a little meme season going on here. So let's go check out the liquidations for today. In the past 24 hours, 98,750 traders liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $277.3 million. Buckaroos, the largest single liquidation happened on Binance. It was Bitcoin, 6.78 million. No big deal. Nothing big, nothing to see here. Just another $6 million liquidation. Today on the calendar, guys, nothing major. We do have ISM manufacturing PMI. It's not as big as PCE and all that we talked about this week. And then there's a lot of Fed people speaking today. So be careful there. That's about the only hiccup I see that could really throw things for a loop today. Let's look here. Should not get anything that really shocks us at all today from earnings. We shouldn't get anything. All of the earnings today, pretty decently small companies, nothing major here in the finance world or the crypto world, and it all happened this morning at opening. So I think that's already been played. I want to show you guys this. This is interesting. This will be our first topic of discussion here that we're going to talk about. This is the Bitcoin profitable days, guys. And if you look here, it says percentage of profitable days holding Bitcoin, 99.4%. That means in the entire history, there's been 4,915 days that have been profitable out of 4,945 days. So if you bought any of those 4,915 days of the entire Bitcoin existence, you are in profit today. The only place that you would not be, that you could have bought that you wouldn't be in profit is back here at the peak in the February timeline of 2021, and then the October timeline, November timeline, when we hit our all-time high, and here just recently because we pulled back for some consolidation. So that is some pretty interesting stuff there. 99.4% of all days that you could have bought Bitcoin, you would be in profit. I want to jump over to the quad cam and talk about this. Guys, is this proof that diamond hands are the winners? I just want to know.
Man, dude, that's a tough one, right? Because
it is, right?
Some projects all the way to zero.
But you know someone's going to argue that.
Yeah, Bitcoin's daddy, Bitcoin's old faithful. But I mean, you like, let's say the ETFs didn't get approved. Like where would we be sitting right now? So that was a big driving factor. And, some people timing wise, it just worked out. Like if you got in early in 2023 or late 2022, I mean, you're looking at a massive move. If you're getting in, just now because you're hearing about it and you're like ready to FOMO in as retail, like this could be a different story later on. So, that's why people preach DCA, right? Up and down, you kind of get that average out. And yeah, DCA, dude, like then we're talking about like, all right, like this is probably the most conservative way to make money.
Yeah, absolutely. AlexO, I almost said Otter. AlexO, what do you think? What's your call on this, man?
I think, like for us as a community and for people who are constantly trading and have an ear to the ground, like this is just regular knowledge. But I think for a lot of the people, like even my coworkers, I knew had like Doge and things like these meme coins that do bring people in, and they don't realize the real value in like holding Bitcoin and the long-term effect of that hold and the hedge against inflation and all these things. But if you're holding like I am, right? Like I was buying in down sub 20,000, like 25,000, right? DCAing and big lump sums down there as well. But like it's getting to a point where it's like, okay, like the profits are beautiful. They're beautiful, but it's like, oh, what's going to happen next, right? And like for me right now, it's about preparing for a dump. It's if it happens or not. It's about if we do dump, whatever, 30, 40%. Not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying if we do have that dump, how can I prepare myself mentally to not only be okay with that, but to realize that it's an opportunity, right? And not to get shaken out, because they want to shake us out, in my opinion.
They do. So if you want to go ahead, I'm going to pull you up your chart first. What's that?
I said I'm holding on tight. You talking about
Hold
a
on
dump?
tight. That's right.
Yeah.
Alex, we're gonna OC. Do you have any thoughts on that? Is diamond hands the way, or is it just hey, be smart, DCA, take profits when you need to, when it pulls back, reconsolidation, add some more money back in. Is that the way? Is it because diamond hands hodlers, Bitcoin maxis are going to be preaching about this in the days to come. So.
Absolutely. I mean, and we can see this being proved all along, all across the Bitcoin lifetime, right? And not only Bitcoin lifetime, this being taught throughout history, right? DCAing, that's why it's the only, like method that is actually proven and it can be taught that way. So yeah, I mean, I believe that is a fact, despite what everybody else says. And just also, I'm with Alex on crypto, that I am also preparing for possible Atomo retracement. And if it happens, great. I already have my positions there, which is going to be doubling down on that DCA low spots, right? And if it doesn't happen, that's completely fine. I'm still trading it and just moving forward with it.
Perfect. Speaking of being with AlexO Crypto, we're all about to be with AlexO Crypto on the Bitcoin chart. Alex, why don't you go ahead? We're going to pull up your chart and you can show us what we're seeing right now, because right now it looks like we are getting a small retracement. Yep, there we go.
This is beautiful, man. I just shared this out to the community actually while we're doing this. We're multitasking, baby. Let's go. So I mean, I'm anticipating some sort of bull flag here, like overall. So I'm seeing like this kind of deal here, where I'm looking for this whole move to kind of do one of these kind of deal, right? And then we're looking for that breakout eventually. That's kind of my big idea right now. But with Bitcoin, you can see we gave the trade setup down here last night, right around here. Protecting ourselves in the bottom, and this is bang. They came up to our key area that we had here, which was just this fair value gap in between here that I was targeting. However, we do like to track momentum, so we can see we've gotten that beautiful move up, tracking momentum. We've lost that support here, which is crucial. But right now, what I sent to the community is that we took the value area high, right? We rejected. We've broken structure down below here. Now we look for the retest, come back here, and we can look for some sort of bullish divergence here coming in at the point of control. Not only is that a point of control, I do believe it's a 786 in golden pocket area. Look, we've bounced perfectly off the golden pocket just now. Okay, so I want to see we've gotten a quick move down. So I want to see structure being formed here and higher highs before I look to just jump into a trade and hopefully ride this thing up. But right now, it's looking like we did get rejected off of this trend line coming down. We've broken structure to the bottom, and that's fine. I mean, any kind of sideways consolidation within here, for me, it still remains bullish, right? So you can see we got the little bit of a bearish divergence here, volume coming in, selling us off here. But look how quickly we're getting bought back up, and that was the case over here where we're getting bought up multiple times. The march on upwards, it's a little bit of a shakeout, right? They're not going to let people who are longing up here get away with it. They just can't afford that, right? We got to be patient and snipe these lower levels where we can give ourselves the best opportunity, the best probabilities, so that when we do get these shakeouts on the way up, that we're not getting knocked out of our trades, right? So I'm preaching patience to my community right now, just to make sure that we are taking those best high probability trade setups so that we can be profitable, and that's what I'm looking at right now on Bitcoin.
Awesome. Hey, shout out to Bitcoin Rolls in the chat. He said he's new here and he loves us, guys. We love you too, man. Welcome to the alumni. Man. The Piper Academy. Glad to have you here, man. Let's go ahead and let's jump into my chart real fast, and then we'll just start down the rotation here, hitting TradeFly up, OC up. Looking at what I'm seeing here right now on the 4 hour, we've got a little pennant going on here, a little symmetric triangle of consolidation. And you guys can see right now, consolidation score is sitting pretty low. Prime score is still sitting at 9, consolidation sitting at a 1, which means we've got a start of a consolidation, nothing too strong yet, but the prime score underscore to 9, that means we are still on a strong positive trend to the upside right now. Some things that I'm watching here on the chart that I'm looking at is, first off, we do have the Delta Blue median line here from the predictive ranges of chart primes, predictive ranges. That is still sitting right above us as resistance, overlaying perfectly on top of the 887. This level of confluence of resistance here has been in play this entire time. We can wick above it a couple of times, 3 times, 4 times, but Sheldon Cooper effect. I talk about this all the time. The more times that Sheldon knocks on that door, the more likely Penny's going to open, right? Sheldon Cooper effect. So this is going to keep happening until we get above this. And once we get that candle close above the 887 and above that delta median, it's assumed should head up to the upper trade band here, the predictive ranges, and that's coming in at about 67,250. And then we have the 1-to-1, guys. That's the all-time high sitting right there from last cycle. So it's super close. It's okay right now. Just let it consolidate. But I am seeing a couple of things on the Oscillator Pro and on the RSI Primed. I'm going to show you those. One here, we're at the bottom of the cloud. We're starting to get this curvature here really close to the 0 line, and it looks like we could be getting a wick. If we do come down off of this rejection and hit that, that could be enough to send this down for a 0 line bounce. And you guys can see we get those sometimes, and they typically play out pretty decent. Just like here, came up and bam, that's what that bounce is. And look, that was more upside. So what I'm seeing right here is we are poised and primed, if you will, for us to come down and get that flip to the upside here on the ribbon. That flip of the ribbon would be bullish indication for me, especially if it happened off of a little bounce off of that 0 line. But also look at the RSI Prime, guys. This is a free indicator. Just type in RSI Primed with a D at the end, and you'll find this. It's made by Chart Prime, completely free. It turns an RSI ribbon signal line into candlesticks, and then I've turned it by flipping on the settings, turned it into a Heikinashi candles. We are starting to get this rounding down here with the flattening of the candles, and on Heikinashi, this tends to indicate a reversal of price or a continuation of reversal of the RSI, the relative strength, and a continuation to the upside is the way that this is looking right now with this green candle right there, giving us that little indication that, hey, see me and see me. Well, guys, it's time for you to see me do this. So that's what I'm watching there on the indicators. Oscillators are looking strong. Bitcoin's looking strong. TradeFly, I'm going to pass it over to you, and we're going to round through some other indicators and other assets. Let's go, man. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Right on. Let's look at the DXY. This is on the daily. Go ahead and open this up a little bit for you. And look at this crazy range, right? We've been talking about this range quite a bit. You can see I pointed this out, I think, weeks ago at this point, how many times we've really interacted with this level right here. You can see the 200-day, though. This right here is a 200-day SMA on the Dixie, so don't really know how applicable it is. But look, it did bounce off of it, so it must work a little bit. So what I'm seeing right now is the DXY is actually moving up. So what does that mean? It's going to open up the door for Bitcoin to probably pull back a little bit. That's just the inverse correlation that we typically see. Now, it hasn't been necessarily following that exactly lately because Bitcoin just moving at its own pace and it's just diverging from everything else. But I would look at this, and then I come over to the liquidation heat map, and I like to tie everything in together, right? So you get the analysis from Alex, you get the analysis from Army, and they're going to kind of show you the specifics on the charts. Let's look at some other things to see, like, hey, where can price action end up? Well, if you're looking at some of the liquidity, because I tell you, or I usually say, hey, price likes to follow liquidity, you're going to look up here and you can see at about 63.8, you got an area. That makes sense, right? It went up to 64. So now people are putting in short entries here and they're hoping it's going to pull back a little bit more. Now, it is working its way back up, but we got another zone down here at about 60,375. So could it pull back a little bit? DXY pushes up, Bitcoin pulls back, clears out some of this liquidity, and then keeps in this range before it actually starts making a move. Remember, we talked about that before. We had liquidity on the top side and the bottom side, and I was like, hey, you'll probably see a wick up, clear that out, come back in the range, and that's what it did. Once it came back in the range and that liquidity was clear, then it was open for it to move up. All right, so, and I just want you to look at this, right? You see the liquidity sitting here at about 60,000, 350, 375 or so. You got the same kind of stuff all the way down here at 51, right? So this is an easy kill for the market maker to get his right here. So I would be looking for that to happen. I'd say sometime, I'm not going to say in the near future, but I would look for him to get his pretty soon.
Awesome. Appreciate that, man. We had a request for Injective. We're going to push that out to whoever wants that in the team here. So if somebody wants to grab Injective, let me know. OC, we're going to go ahead and push it over to you and see what you're looking at, man.
Absolutely. I'm looking at the results of BNB. Remember that yesterday we were talking about, let me pull up yesterday's video here, that we were talking about this trend line going on BNB, right? Also, I was looking at Binance Coin moving first and leading as for what Bitcoin would have been doing upwards, right? And soon enough or right enough, basically broke this trend line. Bitcoin also retraced at the same time or right after Binance did. And then we are right now, it's not about the breakout, right there to the support that we were looking at, right? It's about the retest. It's a little bit early retest, but that's completely fine. And we need to take a look at whether we're going to be breaking back up if we complete that bounce, or if we break through that zero line and we reject, as I am expecting, all the way down there. Remember, we need to look at the oscillator at this point and see what's going to be doing. Oscillator is going to be key at this point to see where is this price is going to be heading to. All right, we can also steer going a little bit farther up. As you can see, I could be expecting, or I was expecting, a little bit of a head and shoulders, and this is the neckline that we're looking at for it to have some sort of support. So that's what I got on BNB so far. I'm not taking any trades. What I'm going to be actually doing here, just to make sure that I have the completion of my analysis, is going to be setting up my rooftop analysis, or my rooftop lines in here. So this is basically me looking at another or thinking outside the box to see where could I be getting to, and why am I heading to this area up here and not to here? Because I don't have a rejection just yet, and I need to start looking for those vertexes. So as you can see right here, I have my prime ranges that they cross around that area, right? Let me see if I have something else that points out to that area. I do have a soft order block. Look at that, also going through that area. So let's mark the bottom of that order block. Let me see if I have something else. Maybe I have a support and resistance, or a VPVR section, or maybe another kind of order block. So far, that's what I got. All right, so this is a big resistance area, and that's exactly what I'm going through that area. In fact, I'm just going to be changing it slightly to make sure that I go through a high confluence zone. Now, I'm going to right click on them, lock them. All right, and now they're locked. Let me just do an alert on this one here. So that's what I'm going to be doing at this point, to create those alerts and be alerted whether it's going to be going up or down on Binance or BNB. That's what I got, guys, and turning it back to you.
Those price levels are what for our people that are driving and listening right now? What's that price level at?
Perfect. So the side level that I'm looking at, it is, oh come on, it is 413, and the bottom levels, it is somewhere around 400. So those are the two levels that I'm looking at for either break to the upside or to the downside.
Awesome, good to know. Appreciate that, man. AlexO, crypto, what you got for us, bro? Your beatbox is not working today because you've got your sound compression on. You're muted.
He's muted now. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, but I fixed it. Oh man. Pardon me. So looking at injective here, trend-based fib analysis, price discovery, moving on up. You can see, pardon me, you can see that we're moving on up here, pushing on injective, taking out these highs, which is great to see. So it has done a little bit of a liquidity grab, and we do have some key levels above here. So if you are driving, we did come up to the 618 trend fib extension. Okay, you got 45.77 and then 49.40 for your next kind of levels that I'm eyeing up. But if we want to get into where we are looking at for a trade here with injective, it's been flying. Like the the narrative is strong, right? So we love narrative driven coins. You can track the beautiful move up here. And then you can look at the oscillator. You're getting bullish divergence all across the board, right? So we're looking for this. This has actually played out quite nice. You can see the head and shoulders here, right? Rejection down, coming back to the trend line here. So beautiful move. Then it's broken out of this downtrend, right? And as a community, we were looking at this to hold, but I always like to see the retest of previous highs. Okay, so we came back down, we dropped through there, but we have reclaimed that key level of support, and that support level is going to be right around 41.55. And for me, I'm looking for higher lows and higher highs, right? So I'm just looking for a continuation here, and you can see when this thing moves, it moves aggressively, right? So wait for those setups. Wait for these nice, beautiful bullish divergence. I'm sure there's a bullish divergence here on the short-term time frame. Let's let it load. But you can see here that you've gotten this continuous momentum here. So you need, in order for this to continue, there it is, right? So you can see we need to have this take this high here, right? And we do understand that there is key resistance, and that level is right here at 43.46. So we want to see it take this level, hold it as support, and continue its march up. It is in a beautiful uptrend, but we want to see it continue to push. Okay, if it does drop back down, right, because we haven't made a high yet, we are looking for this 41.55 area for a continuation on injective. But a very nice move nonetheless. So it looks like it wants to continue to march up, and we all know that when we look on the big charts here that we have very much a push, a flag, a push, a flag, and we're getting a push right now. So let's see if it can continue this march on up. And my target would be around 50, 56, 55, 50, big time. Okay.
I love it. I love it. Let's go, man. Injective. I got
Let's
some of that
go.
in my portfolio.
INJ, man.
So it's in my wallet.
Wild.
That's right. Gang. Let's come over here and let's talk about this article real fast that I have here. It's pretty interesting. This is from Forbes, guys. So Forbes.com put out this article, Advisor Investing, and they said 4 altcoins to consider buying for the next bull run. Nikita Tomby here, Forbes staff wrote this, and here's what they said. I want to know what you guys think about this. So these are the best altcoins for rewarding ventures. It offers diversification, potentially higher returns, right? And so they're looking for things that are going to give returns. That's their target on this. Number 1, Ethereum. I can go with that. Absolutely. But it's the ones below that I found very interesting that on their list. Number 2, Cosmos Atom. Guys, what do you guys think down there in the chat? Is Cosmos Atom in the top 4 altcoins that people should be watching this cycle? I want to know what you guys think about this. I don't make these lists, man. Forbes made this. Forbes would know better than Piper. I'm just saying. But they're now telling people get into Caspa. This is intriguing. Hey, this is intriguing, and here's why. Caspa isn't even listed anywhere yet. First of all, 2 on major exchanges. I should point out 2. People are now starting to talk about this in the mainstream. We were talking about it at 4.5 cents over on Investing Bros. So we were dropping it early. And then third, because I'm wondering if the people at Forbes saw the video that's dropping today right after this live stream. There's a premiere for a full Caspa breakdown by Crux of Crypto. It is Crux's curriculum right here on the Piper Academy channel right after this. So be watching for that today, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be premiering the Caspa breakdown video from Crux of Crypto. So I'm wondering, is one of these people a member in the Academy that saw Crux's video and now says you need to have this in your top 4? Just saying. Coincidence? I think not.
Chat, yeah.
And then lastly, Stellar Lumens here, XLM. I can see this. I think this is more a better selection choice than XRP. I like XRP. I just don't think XRP is going to do what anyone thinks it's going to do. I think when it comes to the ISO 20022 narrative, XLM probably a better choice, but I still don't know that I would put it in my top 4. Solana's not in here at all. ADA's not in here at all. And speaking of ADA, it's skyrocketed 16% this last week because of technological advances and developer activity. So let's go ahead, jump over into charts. TradeFly, do you have ADA up? I'm sure you do right now, don't you?
I don't. I have MATIC up right now, but you know what? I can do that for you.
All right, let's jump over to you. Let's knock out some ADA, and then you can do MATIC right afterwards. Guys, let us know in the chat. Are you shocked by this list? And do you think that anything on there deserves to be on there or does not deserve to be on there? Let me know. TradeFly, what you got for us, bro?
Cool, man. So on the spot here, I'm going to go ahead and pull up ADA on the daily, since our ADA King is usually OC over there. But what I'm looking at right now is this level of resistance that we've actually gotten through. So, you know, I said a few days when we were talking in the background, I was like, hey, man, I think ADA is going to pop, right? Because it's pushing up again here. So this
you absolutely said that. I remember it. I recall it. Yes, you said ADA is going to pop. And then we said SNEC was going to pop on top of it, and SNEC did also. So there you go. Monday calls.
Right. So looking at it, right, you had that area of resistance and I saw this build up, right? So you came down, you pulled back, but what did you see here, right? This is something I always talk about to you guys is like, hey, let's look for the RSI or the prime oscillator. Let's see some kind of divergence between price and the actual oscillator, right? So you got that here, and that was in correlation with the, it looks like the 100-day moving average as well as the dynamic reactor. And we've talked about that many, many times. So we got that support, right? We found something that lined up with a lot of the other alts. But what my biggest thing is, ADA is always slow to the party. I don't know why that is. It just never seems to be front running anything. But once it came back up here, all right, we got that healthy little, rejection, which lined up with this area right here, came down, and then it found support. And then it started pushing up again. And I saw the, I kind of talk about this right here. You want to see two things. You want to see this kind of lined up. Let me go ahead and draw a line for you right here. You want to see this trending up, all right? Trending up is good, but then you want to give RSI time to reset, which is what it was doing right here. And then it started pushing up again. And I was like, looking at the market, right? At this time, Bitcoin was already starting to make a move. And knowing that Cardano is kind of that lagging asset for whatever reason, I was like, hey, I think it's going to move. And, here we are, right? And now we're getting over this area of resistance, right? So we're at 68 cents. So let's go ahead and turn on the chemtrails. You go ahead and run that for me. So there it is. All right. So that's the daily, right? It's showing me that area of resistance. Love it. And then let's go ahead and pull the weekly up. So now we're looking at the weekly. And this is kind of the basis of why I was like, hey, this thing could run, right? So you see all this volume in this area right here. And look, you can see it was fighting, and then it popped through. Now, that's when I tell you that's a significant area, is when you see that pop. Well, we got it. All right. So a big push up on the weekly. But now it's like we have kind of a gap, right? Like you look over here and you're looking at where there was previous support. I would say a run up to 78 cents is in the cards relatively easy. And it might be able to push up to this area that's on the indicator. But I think right now, like if I were to lean towards something, is right here at about 78 cents. I think we can move up there pretty easily and pretty quickly because, like I said, Cardano just always late to the party. So what you want to look for is that all the other assets are starting to, well, you're not going to see it with all the alts because there's going to be a rotation, but you really want to see Bitcoin start to consolidate into a range. Once we start getting that consolidation, it seems like that's when Cardano seems to make its move. So keep an eye out. All right, so here's your significant area is at 67 cents. This I know has been pretty long-winded. Sorry about that. But then your horizontal area is going to be, I would say, right about 78 cents would be what I'd be looking for it to push up to. So obviously, if it pulls back, we got previous levels to look at, but I'm not going to delve too far into that. But you can see just looking at the charts where those areas are. You see it about right here, and then you see it about here. So I don't see that happening right now because what I see on the charts is us pushing up and right. So that's what I got for ADA.
Nice. If you want to knock out MATIC real fast while we're here, or we can come back around to you for MATIC. What do you want to do?
Yeah, dude. Let me pull that one up.
Get it up.
Quick
Get it up.
for you.
Let's get some MATIC on here.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
you
we
caught
know
me
that
off
was going
guard,
to be
so
a
I
little
like I
long-winded.
quit.
Anytime you give a pilot airtime, he's going to eat it all up. So
Nah, that's not true, man. I'm actually quiet, especially when I get tactical. So, all right, let's see here. Let's get 4-hour chart here. I had all kinds of stuff for you guys. All right, let's take a look. See, so we have been talking about the cup and handle, and that still has the opportunity to play out. High side target, previous resistance, $1.18 is what I'm looking at right now. But look at all this craziness in here. Let me go ahead and zoom it out, man. It's like I've been hanging out with OC or something. I don't know what's going on. All right, so we had that
yeah,
pullback. That's
that looks like
classic. That's what we
Mexican
want to see.
spaghetti and meatballs is what that looks like to me.
Yeah,
So
yes, let me turn this off. There we go. Now we can actually see some things here. So we had the pullback, which we were kind of expecting, but we're kind of forming this little channel here, right? So I was just marking this as you guys were talking in the background, and it's basically an up and right, trajectory right now. So you see it, and one of the things I did call is like, hey, I think we're going to come up to about 108 is what I was actually calling. It was 107 and some change, and that was just based on horizontal level of resistance. We honored that. We came down. This is Coinbase. So, but the funny thing is, it came down to the dynamic reactor, right? Found support in that area, and then it, just started going up and right with everything else again. But just look, you see it. The trend is just bouncing up and down in this channel. I think it's going to go back to 107 relatively easily. You are seeing hidden bullish divergence. That's so on what you think about that. But let's see, right now, you got that dollar. That's your support level. That's the psychological area that I think it's going to continue to find support on. And then as everything else consolidates, or if it moves up and right, obviously MATIC's going to have a pretty easy time to get back up to 107. But again, high side target's going to be 118. So it's an opportunity potentially. I think dollar, just psychological support. And then if it pulls back, you got to look at this dynamic reactor. So right now, not only is the dynamic reactor something we find support on all the time, but it's also lining up with the neckline. So at about 95 cents. So if we get another pullback, that's definitely an area to get excited about. I'd say 95 cents. So go ahead and set an alert there. But again, right now we're hoping to find support right here at the dollar area for a push up to 107.
awesome. Appreciate it, man. Hey, big shout out to Arsan246. Just became a summa cum laude member. So shout out to you, Arsan. We appreciate you, man. Let's go. Join in the top tier ranks of the alumni. Much love to you, brother. Appreciate you. Let's go, OC. Let's see what you got. Then we're going to drop down to AlexO crypto. Let's go.
Perfect. Talking about divergences, let's take a look at what is happening right here on the oscillator. Look at that. We have a bearish divergence and also we have a bullish divergence, both kind of trying to play out at the same time, right? So as you can see, that is because of the volatility within the range that we're having. This is something that you might not be seeing too often, but it's something that's worth taking a note of, especially if you are using a chart prime. Why? Because this is telling you something. Guys, please look at also at my consolidation score. What is it saying? It is up to 8. So that means that we are highly consolidating, and we can actually see it right here. Look at that beautiful range playing out, right? And also that we are getting close to break to a from that range, right? And we're seeing that momentum building up to the bearish side and also to the bullish side. So there is a fight between bears and bulls, retail bears and bulls right here, fighting to see who's going to be winning and where is the price going to be breaking out. So this is important because right here we have a alarm setting here. Let me just show you also that where it's set, it was crossing 3.63. So right there we got a 3.63, the alarm that it was crossing. Also another important part, it is what I was expecting out of this zone. And let me go and just make a little bit transparent here, and we'll see that we have a weak right to the dynamic reactor. If we zoom out a little bit, we'll see that I am hunting these lower areas right here for the macro range that we have. All right, so we need to be right now a little bit careful on this area. Why? Because we're building up some momentum, and when we get pressure, things might be starting to move fast. So far we are bullish, and despite I'm looking for a liquidity zone to be grabbed down here, we could be going to the upside. So be careful in this area. That's why I still have this alert. And this line, I'm going to reactivate that alert once again and start looking at my oscillator breakout. So far, we are technically below the zero line, but I will going to be counting that as a fake out until I see the rest of the flip of the ribbon or a complete breakout on this area right here. Just to wrap things up in here, I want to throw in my prime trend assistance just so you can see, guys, what support am I looking at. Let's just wait for TradingView to start playing around with us here. All right, and then also we'll see that we have a beautiful rank, which is here we go, 19%. All right, and also a support and resistance. We also have another liquidity area right here at 51%, which is the second most important one, and the first most important one, it's all the way up here with this resistance. So guys, I'm looking at these two areas to take some action right with where a smart money is being placed. All right, so that's what I got on optimism. I am looking at it to maybe start opening some new positions.
Awesome. Appreciate that, man. Hey, shout out to AlexO right down there at the bottom of this block of beautiful people. Dropping 5 memberships into the community. TRD Farmer, Flat Smack, Lewis B, Cryptic Mac, and Bethany, or sorry, Arthony, Vince, Arthony. Awesome people. An awesome person, in addition to the other 4 awesome people, have all joined the alumni off of those gifted memberships. So shout out to all the new alumni members. Glad to have you here.
We have to bring that dude in the show just to say his name.
Like, bring him on as a guest. We have one important question to ask you. We have one important question to ask you. It's how do you say that name, bro? Let's go, Alex. Let's see what you got here. We got the volatility heat map up. What's up? What's you got?
We hunting. I was just hunting, man. I like hunting. We're Canadian here. No, I'm looking at Solana right now for a bounce. This is kind of the setup I was looking at this morning. Setup was given, but I'm looking for this bounce here. We got major volatility on Solana. This is where you need to use a more generous stop loss because of the volatility. So I always suggest when it's more volatile, it's reduce your leverage, use less margin, give yourself more breathing room, right? Because if it's moving, you're going to make those gains up anyways, right? So for me, Solana's had this massive push up recently. Going all the way, I believe it was all the way down. Yeah, it was all the way. We're hanging out at 109 for quite some time here, and we continue to march up here. So I'm looking for a continuation on Solana as well. So we got the dynamic reactor 2 coming in at the 15 here, which I do like. And this dynamic reactor is godly. So we're watching for the bounce here and see if it can pop up here. And it's just simply, it's retesting these highs like we talk about. Boom, drops down, retests the highs, continuation upwards, right? And my target would be all the way up here around that psychological 150. We'll see if we get there. That's pretty high, but our first stop would definitely be at 140. I've kind of mapped that out. So there is a big gap right here. So I always like to mark out, like, this is from previous cycles. So there is like a big gap within here. So price will move fast from about 147 all the way up to 154 if we continue to push here. So that's very exciting. And then I was looking at MATIC for that breakout as well, alongside with TradeFly, and then also in Confluence. It's funny how we all get the same thing, but we're tapping on that door on ADA as well, looking for that push all the way through to 78 cents. So my TA is matching up quite nicely with TradeFlies. And then look at the meme coins, man. The meme coins are going absolutely nuts. I hold a couple meme coins because I put like $1,000 in Bonk and Snack, and we'll see if they continue to run. But AI meme coins, all these things are getting a move right now, so it's pretty exciting time to be in crypto. So make sure you're using good risk management though, and not chasing price. I mean, Bitcoin has cooled down and it's bouncing here, but overall we got the ETH narrative pumping. We had a Phantom setup. Everything's looking really good right now. It's about being patient though, setting the trap and waiting for price to come to you. Right now it's not time to chase price, it's time to wait for price to come to you, right? And I think with good guides like these three here and checking in every morning with these three, you guys can set yourselves up for success where you can make great money. Okay, so make sure you're subscribed to these guys. That's what it's all about.
We appreciate that, bro. We're always glad to have you on here, man. Let's go ahead and check over to a little article that I saw here, and we're going to talk about this. I'm going to look at this chart. Check it out, guys. Robinhood announces integration of Arbitrum swaps in the Robinhood wallet. So Arbitrum, it's layer 2 solution on the Ethereum network. Really bullish on this and optimism and when it comes to looking at layer 2 solutions in competition with MATIC this cycle. I'm going to be watching Arbitrum, so let's go take a look over there at Arbitrum. First, I don't know why my ticker is so choppy today, so I've been turning it off every chance I get, but that API is really jumpy. But yeah, Arbitrum, guys, moving over to Robinhood wallet. I looked in here. It doesn't really give an exact timeline on it. I didn't see, but this news is going to make it a little bit bullish. So let's go see what we're seeing on Arbitrum, and we will take a look and see how that's looking for us. Oh, look, another one. Choppy, choppy, choppy. Go away. Let's go check out Arb. That's Arweave. That's Arweave. Did I pass it? I did. Come on, what are you at, Arb? I have too many assets in my portfolio, guys. I need to download a bunch. There we go. Arb, found it. Taking a look at Arb here. We're sitting above the dynamic reactor right now on the 4-hour. We did have a reversal print here, which is a little bit bearish. It does look like we have downside. I'm going to be watching for this to continue to go sideways here while these oscillators cool off. And once they get these cool offs and hit to this dynamic reactor range, which is coming in right now at about $1.91, I would be watching for it to get some support there, which would give us time to cool off the oscillator and the RSI prime. I would not be buying this right now because it does look like there's some downside movements coming. If we break that dynamic reactor, be looking here at this lower support range coming in at $1.84. You can see that running through there. And then if we also grab over here, let's do a little fixed range volume profile grab here. And let's just throw it in for this entire range here to see what type of action we're looking at. There we go. Yeah, we're losing. We're fighting right now, and looks like we're going to lose that that point of control there right in the middle. There we go. Looks like we're losing that point of control. Guys, if we lose the point of control on a fixed range volume profile, we tend to fall down to the value area low. Just like if we break it to the upside, we tend to go to the value area high. So that's what I'm going to be watching there. Right now, it does look like we have more downside coming. But 3 ranges that I would look at picking up: $1.91, $1.84, and then lastly, $1.75. Not financial advice, but a good DCA opportunity there on Arbitrum on the 4-hour, letting all those oscillators cool off to the downside. So let's go kick it over to TradeFly, and then we're going to run through one more time. I think we got one more lap that we can make here. So let's go, TradeFly.
Right on. So I got AGIX pulled up. I know you guys have been talking about that quite a bit. So I was just taking a look-see, and I was like, hey, let me kind of go back and look at this. So it came down to the 0.5. We talk about that a lot. This is why fib retracements are so important, why we love them. You can see it didn't even make it down to where the dynamic reactor was on the 100-day moving average or the 618, the golden pocket, right? So didn't even make it there, right? So that's kind of a bullish sign for AGIX. Piper gave you that one, probably a couple weeks ago, maybe more. So, I mean, you can just look at the trend right now. Yeah, it's up and right. It's looking really good. So I was looking and I was like, all right, what can I learn from it? And then where can we go? So let's go ahead and clear this out, right? So we came down to the 0.5, kind of talked about that already. But now this thing is taking off like a rocket ship. And I mean, we've had let's measure this move, 32% move. And I mean, if you look at the ticker today, I think that's just in a 24-hour period. So on the fib extension though, on the 4-hour, it did get up to the 618, right? So the golden pocket. So could we find a little resistance in that area? It's very likely. Let me actually come out real quick, go back in time. So yeah, we're in price discovery mode, right? So we're just in uncharted territory. So who knows where this thing's going to go, but it's looking bullish AF. So that's just taking a look-see. If it does continue up on the fib extension, you get up to about 102, $1 and 114. It's all possible. Again, I get into my no-no zones. For me, this would be a no-no zone. We're flirting with the 618. It's already made a substantial move, but it does look like the prime oscillator does actually want to bend up and right again, which is pretty impressive on the daily. So prime score is nice. It's looking at 8. Obviously, no consolidation. That makes perfect sense. So yeah, just taking a quick look at it, this thing obviously is just rocketing. If it pulls back, I would start looking at the area where we had the previous high. So you want to find some support in this area at about 86 cents. So that would be healthy if we got a pullback. And let's go ahead and do that for you. Let me see. Where's my paint? All right. So if we came back and we found a little support here at this previous area of resistance, get confirmation of that support and then look for that continuation up and right. That would be my play personally if you were looking for it, but it's a no zone for me. This was probably would just be you guys kind of lathering into a trade if that's what you wanted to do. Me personally, I would hope for more of a correction, but I don't know that it's going to happen. So that's AGIX.
Yeah, what I find interesting on that chart there is how low the volume is on the sell-off compared to the pumps. Looking at those volume candles down there, the buying pressure is so much higher than the sell-off pressure is right now, and it's just following that AI narrative. I mean, Fetch AI is moving, AGIX is moving. The AI narrative is real right now. So yeah, good call on that. I would like to see a pullback, but that oscillator right now looking like it looks. That oscillator looks like it's about to pump up again and punch through that golden pocket. So
it looks like it wants to, right?
It looks like it wants to. It looks quite punchy. So yeah, OC, let's kick it over to you, man. Good TA there on AGIX TradeFly. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. I also see that Mr. J has a question. Is he needs to update his oscillator if he has a previous version? Yes, we actually downgraded the version number, but we upgraded the version. We have a typo there. It's already fixed, but I do advise you to go over your indicators right here, invite only script, and look for the Prime Oscillator Pro. Just add it and you're gonna have the latest version that it's available. So we have already fixed a ton of bugs in there, make math much better and faster. So yeah, it is very advisable to update it. So let me just wrap up here on NOS because it's been playing out very good. So basically, we were talking about a possibility. Let me just align it with the number 4 here for the possibility of NOS going back down and breaking the previous trend line and going to this lower trend line, right? Where do we get that trend line from? From these pivot points and also from this from this liquidity zone that we can see there, right there. So basically we went perfectly to that area, bounced back up, but something interesting is happening. So at this point, and for this, let me clear this up, we are below the zero line. And look at that, I was expecting a little bit of a more violent and faster movement. Nonetheless, we are right here, right with the prediction, right? We're with the speculation. Something interesting is that technically we are making a lower high. All right, we need to be careful with this one because we have also not broken the previous low down here, right? But we are doing a lower high, so which indicates me that I could be looking at a possible symmetrical triangle or a daily possible bull pennant in here, right? So we need to be careful and look at closely what is the oscillator is going to be doing. Seems like the transparency of my drawings are very thin. So let's do it once again. Here we go. So areas to look for. I'm going to be looking at 6.99 and also looking at somewhere around 5.30. Let me just wrap it up with a little bit more of my my indicators. Look at that. This is what I'm going to be looking at. Much better, I believe. I'm going to add another alert and also convert this one to an alert. So here we go. Just to wrap it up, let me see if I have some order blocks. Yes, I do have some order blocks right at those two areas. Look at that. Beautiful. So that's going to be my analysis for NOS and also that quick answer for Mr. J. Much love, brother. And say
awesome. Awesome. Let's kick it over to AlexO and see what he's looking at. What you working with over here, Alex?
What you
I'm
working
always
with?
intrigued. I'm always intrigued to see what AlexO is doing because that's why I watch him every day.
I appreciate you, man. I announced to my channel that I bought 5K worth of TIA yesterday, and I'm looking to drop about 30K Canadian. So that's about 5K USD. But I am looking to grab this right now. It's telling me right now, like, I believe that this is going to be a good project. And between 16 and about 13 is where I'm looking to DCA that 30K in. So I have my target here, and I grabbed some last night because I do believe that you should get exposure, right? Then you should get average buys in. So I would do 10, maybe 30, and then the rest if I get that opportunity. But always have exposure to something you believe in. I do believe in that. And then work your way up, but I'm looking for the break of this and the pop upwards. Okay, so I have a little list here of what has had a good narrative. So TIA, SUI, SEI, and ORDI. And if you look at all these charts, they all look freakishly similar. Okay, they all look freakishly similar, all looking like they possibly want to pop. Okay, they have this beautiful bull flag. If you go out and you zoom out, you can see the narrative that has been driven on all of these coins. Massive, massive moves. Okay, you can see it, right? So why would we fight the trend that it's taking, where we are looking for that continuation upwards? So SUI, TIA, SEI, and ORDI, they're all looking very good. Do some TA on them. Look where you're looking to grab maybe a spot buy or maybe a long swing trade, where you can look to benefit from any one of these coins. That's kind of what I've been eyeing up lately, but definitely always want to be transparent on what I'm buying and what I'm looking at. So that's a little bit of the inside look for me.
Awesome. Appreciate that, man. Let's go ahead and let's jump over here. I got time for one more piece of TA. We're going to do it on MANTA. Arsan 246 was asking for that. So let's jump over there and take a look at that. I'm looking at MANTA right now on 4-hour Bybit chart. And it is, we do have a reversal that kicked in. You can see the first one we had here kicked in for the downside move. We did have one here to the upside. However, that it was probably triggered by this big crazy wick that we had here to the downside. That algorithm picked up that retracement of, 70% almost of that candle to the downside. And that's what kicked in that reversal. I'm not feeling overly bullish about this reversal on here. If you look up here, I've got the multi-time frame dynamic reactor indicator on. And so we are sitting beneath the dynamic reactor on the 60-minute, the 4-hour, which is on the chart, the 12-hour, and the daily. We're underneath that. That is bearish in my opinion. MANTA also sitting here, if we take a look, underneath this trend line that was previous support, and now we have retested it to the downside also. We are sitting down below, and it looks like we're really in this weak state of the oscillator ribbon here. You can see that it's just kind of going sideways. This looks like this has more downside to come. Indecisiveness right here in the RSI primed. Let's go drop fixed range volume profile on here and see what that gives us. Let's go. We'll just do the whole thing. It ain't that long. It's a very short history here on Bybit. Yeah, we're sitting below that that point of control also. I'd be watching for us to come back down to $2.37, $2.38 there on that value area low. And if we do take a little Fibonacci here, let's do a little fib from this bottom to this top and see how that's looking for us. It looks like the golden pocket is our rejection. We're doing a lot of fighting there with that wicking on the 786, but because we cannot get above that golden, lock your fibs, people. This is why we always say this, lock your fibs, because we cannot get above that golden pocket. As I lock these fibs, and then I can draw and show you. Got me. I got caught because we can't break that golden pocket. Likely heading down to that platinum pocket, and look where that 887 of the platinum pocket's lying right there on the value area low also. So that's what I got there for MANTA. Guys, I do want to jump over here and show you this real fast. right after this video, it's members only right now, so it was exclusive for all of our members. Shout out to the alumni. But for everyone else, for the entire world, this will unlock here in about 1 minute. You guys should check this out. Caspa, the next Bitcoin GPA breakdown from Crux of Crypto, one of our new series here on the show. So, guys, that is it. We have wrapped up a show on Piper Academy. AlexO, thank you for being here, bro. You got anything for the people on your way out, man?
Yeah, go and check out that video. I shared it in the chat there. It's a great breakdown. Obviously, I got it early because I'm a member, but it's great, and it's a great community full of great people here. I mean, you guys are like family to me. I love you all. TradeFly OC Guy Army. I mean, you guys are great. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to help people, man. That's where it's at. You know where you can find me, guys. Come on, let's go.
They should know where to find you because your links are down in the description below. So we appreciate you, AlexO.
That's the one.
TradeFly, what you got for the people?
Hey, man, we're wrapping it up on time, so I'll keep it quick. Super stoked to see Crux's video. I've been asking to get that dude on the camera for like weeks now, so I am excited to see this. So that's it. You guys have a great day. Let's stay green. Love it. Over to OC and then the outro.
OC?
Guys, very quick. It's already 9:30. It's time to go rate another server, another channel. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Also, thank you so much for your comments and all of your Mexican spaghetti. I'm always watching, guys. So thank you so much. And turning it back to you, Piper.
Appreciate it, man. All right. I look down at TradeFly, if that's okay. Guys, thanks for joining us here today at Piper Academy. Remember, the weekend, volatility can get a little crazy, low volume, so be careful this weekend. We will catch you guys back here Monday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge because knowledge is profit. Until then, guys, trade safe, and as always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. TradeFly, get the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, Crux Crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. Sound off to get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean.
That was awesome, dude!